First of all, let me say good evening to members of the media. Earlier today, when we were at the Cabinet grounds, we had made public statements to our members. The Premier also addressed our members at the Cabinet grounds, and we had said that we were going to be convening a meeting this evening at 7 o'clock to have a conversation to see whether or not we can get the additional cost savings in relationship to the budget deficit reductions. I can tell you that the meeting started at 7. We've had fruitful discussions. We have invited the Premier to be here with us this evening to make this announcement. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with us. And what I can say to you is that we've reached the number that we came here to reach. Pretty satisfied that it's still got to go back to the Premier and his Cabinet to ratify. But from our point of view, we think that we got the number that was needed that we were asked to get. And based on that conversation that we've had and reached that target, we see no need for further days, and they can be taken off the table completely. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we reached the budgeted number that we were asked to reach. We got that budget number, so therefore further days definitely should be taken off the table.
Has it been taken off the table?
Well, the charge was if we could reach a number, it would be no need to bring them back on the table. If we reach a number, what's the need to bring them back? So from our point of view, we see since we've reached the required number, that further days should be going.
What's the general feeling amongst the unions this evening, sir?
The general feelings amongst the unions this evening were quite satisfactory. We worked, since we got here to reach the number that we came to reach, and we always knew. And if you didn't hear what I said when we were at the Cabinet grounds, I felt 95% sure that once we got in these talks, that further days would be going. I made that statement on it, so I felt confident then, and my confidence then was confirmed when we came here to have the discussions this evening.
Can you confirm who the representatives from the government were that were here this evening?
I'm not sure. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Well, Mr. Phillips, Mr. Harvey, and Mr. Law was there on behalf of the government. We had the financial secretary here and the assistant cabinet secretary, Ms. Webb. Mr. Mendels is the financial secretary. And Dr. Beans, I'm sorry, the cabinet secretary also.
You said Mr. Harvey.
And got Sherry Ritter. Yeah,
John
and
Harvey.
I'm sorry, Janelle Christopher also. Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I don't want to put it as last 3 days been remained, but could we have reached this on Monday?
Well, maybe that's the $64,000 question. I think we said it on Let's Talk on Monday night, that maybe if that meeting would have came off on Monday evening, we probably wouldn't be here today. So yeah, you can look at it like that. The work that went in over the last two hours and a bit certainly says to us that maybe what happened today could have happened on Monday. And I say could have, maybe something else might have went wrong. But the mere fact we was able to reach the number tonight, I see no reason why we shouldn't be able to reach that same number on Monday evening.
Do you feel this is a victory for the unions?
I don't want to get into victories and whatever have you. I think that basically what we've done on behalf of our members is represented them to the best of our ability with their full support, and as a result of that, we've been able to achieve what the government asked us to achieve. We done the work back early in November and December, and now we'll just finish it off tonight.
What was the number that you achieved?
Well, I think when we came back to the table, I think the number that was mentioned, that we were like some $22 million short. So when we came back tonight, we started off that we were at $45 million, and we had to get to that magic number of 67. And I think we got pretty close to, that number.
On Monday, you did say you had some other outstanding concerns related to what's on the table.
No, I think that what we've done, and hopefully people appreciate that. We have this issue of furlough that we want to dealt with. There are some other underlying issues that the government needs to address on behalf of the country, whether that's the airport project or other projects or whatever. But that we're in the time or place. You notice that we didn't roll those issues into why the members were out. The members came off a furlough day. We didn't all say to the government, the members are not going back to work unless we address these other issues. We don't do those kind of things. The unions do things in good faith, and we guide our members in accordance with that. And I think anything else that we're going to address the government on, we'll do that when the time is right to do exactly that.
One more. Recognition was brought to the behavior of masses, over 7,000 people today, and the behavior was very
Yeah.
Bermudian-like.
No, I think that, remember now, let's give the membership some credit and also give the leadership some credit, because, we also laid down the rules. You were at Union Square when we met the first day, and we told them, this is not a party. This is serious business. We're gonna do some things, and the public's gonna be watching us. So we have to make sure that we handle ourselves in a correct manner. A couple of things happened. We made the announcements down at the cabinet grounds about certain things that were happening, and the membership, listened to us. So, and because they listened to us, they showed us that respect, and equally we have the respect of them. They have the respect of us.
Having gone through this process, do you feel that the relationships between individual unions and the government have changed?
Well, I think when people build relationships, they're based on mutual respect, they're based on trust, and if you don't have those kind of things in relationships, sometimes it's a bit hard to do certain things and make sure certain things are done. We've had some challenges, from time to time in having discussions or whatever have you. But be that as it may, it's always a work in progress. The word industrial relations implies that you have to work together. Sometimes you're going to agree to disagree, but the next time, hopefully the parties, when they come to the table, will try to make sure they get things right.
Just to quickly clarify what you said earlier, sir.
Sure.
You said that basically representatives of the deputy government go back to the Premier go back to the cabinet.
Yeah. So we're saying in principle that the cabinet's still got to ratify what we've done this evening, but based on the work that we've done, we've got the number that the Premier asked the team, the group to get. We've got the number that he asked for.
This is perfect. Some of the sentiments after the announcement this evening, people felt, some were disappointed, thinking that, okay, furlough could be a last resort. So for them, they heard furlough could be coming back.
Yeah.
Are you concerned that you would not find this number?
I was never concerned that we couldn't find a number. As I said earlier, I reported to the members this evening before we left. I was 95% sure that we can find that number. And the only reason why I knew that I was 95% sure, the Premier on Let's Talk last night said, when they met for that 4 hours, they found $14 million. The mere fact he found $14 million, he told us on Monday afternoon that if we get about $4 to $6 million short of their $22 million figure, we'll be okay. So based on that, I knew that once we got back here, we were going to be okay.
Just a brief reflection on the last 3 days.
Sure.
To see such strength in numbers. Can you just tell me what that felt like, particularly this morning when the other sections came and met with the BTUC? How did that feel?
Well, let me say I think that it was very gratifying, particularly after Monday, because you really, as a leader, if we start off in one direction and then you change direction and the membership feels like you let us down or whatever have you, and the mere fact that we were supposed to meet at 3 o'clock on Monday and that meeting didn't come off, it allowed a lot of our credibility to come back. And once that came back, the members reassured themselves on Tuesday morning, rededicated ourselves to the process, and we agreed last night that we will stay down at cabinet all night. Even though, late in the night we didn't have a whole lot of members down there, but the mere fact we had at least one member in the cabinet grounds all night showed a real solidarity for the cause. And based on that, when we look at the numbers that we've had over the last, 3 days, we can go way back to 1981 since we've really had them numbers out, in masses over a 3-day period. And that should tell the country something, that you better pay attention, because organized labor is not prepared to tolerate a lot of nonsense. And pay attention.
Let's clarify just one final thing. You
Sure.
talked about the number, and Trevor asked you, the 22 million shortfall, that's the number we're talking about.
The number that we came back to the table to look for tonight, we came back to the table, we had $45 million on the table before we got back here tonight. So we were looking for $45 million in savings. We had to find an additional $22 million in savings to make up the minister's figure of 7%. 67 million to make up the minister's $67 million figure. 45 plus 22 is 67. Sure. Well, I think that when the TUC galvanized itself back in 2012, and the final member of the joined the TUC, and that was the B.I.U. We joined the TUC in 2012, and I think and I'm not saying it's because of the B.I.U. I'm not merely saying that. What I'm saying is that the unions really came together in 2013. You know, when, you know, Judah Ford being, you know, said to the government, what you probably want to do is try to get the unions to come together collectively and do this collective style negotiation. And I would say, ever since that time, the unions have grown from strength to strength in relationship to respect for each other, and we've been working together. Not to say we always agree, but the mere fact we've been able to galvanize and come together has been a good thing. And to prove that, Balco came today without any hesitation. They had a meeting this morning at 8 o'clock, and at 8:30 they was around Union Square. So that should tell the country something also. 1965 is right around the corner. 1965, 50 years, which is February 2nd on Monday coming.